How's everybody doing? It's Calvin Medlock with the Nation Elite Podcast. All right, today we're going to talk about work ethic. One of the main things that I'm real big on is players being consistent, players understanding that it takes a work ethic to to be better at baseball, to get better at baseball, and then also you have to have that self-driven pride and passion behind it. Um, One of the main things that I see in youth is everyone wants to work, 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 but I don't think they understand what the work is that they need to do for that player. To me, that should tell you what your work ethic should be. Your work ethic should come from self-driven. You have to know what you need to work on, how you need to work on, and understanding what you need to work on. So there's a few things that I'm going to point out. There's a few things that I'm going to talk about in this segment of work ethic, and we'll see if I can help some of these young, inspiring players align their goals with their work ethic. So the first one that I'm going to hit on is, you know, what is it that you need to know about yourself? Understanding yourself pretty much if you're a good hitter, understanding your weakness. Every good hitter has a weakness. And so when you are in the cage, the work ethic now comes from how can I work to get better at my weakness? That's something that a lot of youth, young ball players that are in college, that are in high school, to me, they don't understand that's what you need to work at. That's what you need to get better at in practice. If you're a good low ball hitter in a game, but you cannot hit pitches away in a game, when you start your practice and your BP round, you should start off with your weakness first. Because the thing is, you may work on your strength early in batting practice, but when you get to the cage, and then by the time you get to your weakness, now you're running out of time. You may have a time that you have to leave, you have to go, stuff like that. And so now, when you work on your weakness first, and if you're struggling to get it right, you should be able to stay there until you get it right. That's work ethic. Okay, you need to make sure that when you start as a hitter in a cage, you start with your weakness. It's not just put the ball on the tee, hit it up the middle. Put the ball on the tee, pull it, put the ball on the tee, hit it away. Or start with a high tee, start with a low tee. When we're talking about work, to me, we need to focus on my weakness and finish with my strength. You always want to leave the cage feeling good. So you always want to end on a high note. You never want to leave the cage with a negative vibe. Okay. From the pitching side, understanding what you need to work at, whether it's slide step, whether it's balance, whether it's your front shoulder direction, whether it's your release point. And so all those things players need to understand that in order for me to get better, I have to know my weakness. And so when I'm working on my weakness first and finishing with my strength as part of my work ethic to get better. And so I think every time I watch a young player walk into a cage or they go to the field, I'll watch them to see what they're going to do. I'll see some high school kids, they get to the field and they just walk out, do a little light, minute, 30-second stretch. They just start throwing. Very seldom do I see a player in high school go to the fence, run a couple of poles, stretch, do his bands, stretch a little bit more, do an active warm up, high knees, butt kicks, karaoke, the regular routine, and then start throwing. To me, that's a work ethic because now you're disciplined. You're disciplined in training your body, you're disciplined in how you go about your warm up. That's also, to me, a work ethic because you're disciplined in taking pride in getting loose, getting warm before you throw. As pitchers, you have to do that. So that is a part of your work ethic. To me, work ethic does not mean just at practice or outside. It's a lot of discipline that goes on with having a good work ethic, and understanding these are the levels and the processes for me to keep my body healthy, to keep my arm strength strong. Then I can go out and I can produce on the field for whatever team I'm playing, whatever age it is. That goes for 9U, 10U, 12U, 11U, 13U, 14U, 15U, all the way up through high school, even college. I know pro guys, when I was playing and I was pitching, and I knew that I was the only pitcher in a group. And I had position players who I was playing catch with. I had to get there at least 20 to 30 minutes early before them so I can properly get myself loose. Because position players, they warm up different. Pitchers, our arms is like track legs. So track runners, I always said track runners and pitchers' arms are the same. Their legs. So track runners, they have to stretch. They have to genuinely do an active warm up to make sure that they do not pull a muscle. So for pitchers, your arm is like track runners' legs. You have to warm up. You have to get that blood flow to your shoulder, elbow, wrist, arm, everything to make sure that you're getting loose properly. And then once you get that tuned in, once you get that to where it's second nature, now we're starting to understand our bodies. So now we understand, okay, if I make sure that I get loose properly, now I can work on the mound and I can really work at what my weakness is, which is could be a slide step, could be change ups, could be working on a fastball away, could be working on a breaking ball, could be a lot of things. But I think for the most part, we have to understand what work ethic means. And it could go a lot of ways. Work ethic does not mean, hey, go to the field every other day and long toss. Yes, you do want to go to the field and long toss, but how do we prepare for the long toss itself? That's the work ethic that you have to understand. That's the discipline side. Okay. Defense. We talk about defense. Work ethic being on defense. How good is your glove? When you're doing a drop step in the outfield, when you're working on pivot in the infield, when you're working on backhand in the infield. Okay. There are drills that you can do to be successful, to get more reps, to get better at doing those drop steps, backhands, front hands, doing all of those drills. You can always lead into doing stuff at home. That's the work ethic to me. Understanding your weakness as an infielder and understanding what you need to do to work at those things. One of the main things that I try to stress to players as well is being consistent. I want to make sure that they understand every day that goes by that you don't work at something on your game that's a weakness, you don't get that time back. It could be 30 minutes, it could be 20 minutes. You don't have to spend an hour every day doing something, but every day you have to do something, whether it's for backhand, whether it's hitting off the tee, whether it's working on a load, whether it's working on your balance for pitching. Those small things will instill some work ethic in you to where it's second nature. So when you have to do it on a daily basis, when you have to do it in college, when you have to do it in high school to make sure you're staying sharp, that's how you're going to be able to get better. So with work ethic, to me, is understanding your weakness, understanding your strength, focusing on both, dialing in on what you need to do as a player, not what everyone else is doing. And that to me is what will make you a better player, understanding your work ethic. That's my time. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys understand it. I will be doing more on work ethic, more of a breakdown on position by position as to what drills you can do at home, what drills you can do at the field, and understanding there's a day to day basis, something that you can do to get better. Peace out. Thank you.